So, I posted a poll the other day as usual. Here are the results. Boom! I'm just kidding, I don't know. I filmed all these guys, but I'm gonna quit the yapping. Sorry, I can't get over that. Like, is that really no kids talk? Anyways, seriously though, it won in one pretty genuinely, in my opinion, creepy, but you know me, boy himself. I'm kidding. But in the episode, The Simpsons Homer's Chili Cook-Off, the mysterious voyage of our Homer. After eating an insanely hot chili pepper that Wiggum gave him after previously failing to due to how fucking hot it is, and I can sympathize with Homer because you would think that I would have high spice tolerance, but I really don't. I'm like level 1 at most when it comes to that shit. But don't get it twisted, I still love spicy foods. It's just painful. Spicy food is so exciting, man. Without that shit, food would be so boring. Gotta feel that burning when it comes out of my asshole. My asshole. But seriously, back to the episode. I always thought it was weird that after Homer spazzes out and runs down the sunset, runs towards the sunset at the end, and just in general throughout the whole episode, Ralph was, well, being everything but himself. I always found it weird that Ralph was strangely out of character in this episode.
Lousy Wiggum. Now the whole town thinks I'm a chili wuss.
Wait, mister, you're drinking a candle. You don't want to get wax in your mouth, do you?
Maybe I do, son. Maybe I do.
And you can't even make the excuse that this was before Ralph's character about being stupid was even as relevant on the show as it is now. But keep in mind, I Love Lisa, believe it or not, came before this episode even did. And that had already well established not only how stupid Ralph is, but that Chief Wiggum was also his dad. But you didn't know that. Up until I Love Lisa, it was never revealed or mentioned that Chief Wiggum was Ralph's dad. Insane, ain't it? But yeah, in this episode, as revenge, right? I guess it's pretty ironic that Ralph is telling him that he shouldn't be drinking wax, because, well, it's a stupid thing to do, you'll die. But Homer being Homer, and the fact that it's a cartoon, he does so anyways. And wax, I don't know if any of y'all have ever had braces. I did. I had fucked up teeth for most of my life, so I definitely don't take this smile for granted. The thing is though, a lot of times doctors and dentists will give you some sort of wax to put on your braces to prevent them, like a sharp edge at the back, from like slicing your mouth up. And given that your mouth has one of the most nerve endings in your body, you're gonna feel even the slightest bit. The wax didn't really help, but I can definitely see what they were, I guess, trying to do. So you can only imagine that in Homer's sense, his whole mouth is basically immune to, well, any flavor. It's not even that it turns sweet, it's just nothing. So Homer chows down a bunch of these chili peppers, even while Wiggum's shaking his hand. And everything goes fine, everything is fine. He's getting his little fucking 5 seconds of ego boosted until the chili hits. And we get one of the most weird, bizarre, and like maybe even disturbing scenes in all of early Simpsons at the very least, where we see drugged up versions and like creepily drawn versions of the Simpsons characters, like Mrs. Krabappel, R.I.P., imitating one of the Charlie Brown adults. And you know it's fucking bad when Homer is asking Ned for help. But the theory goes, right? Also, by the way, guys, I want to be self-aware and state that I did not come up with this myself. I actually saw it from a comment on one of the clips. In fact, it was probably one of the first comments. I checked again to find the clip for this video, and it's not there anymore. I mean, it's like one of the lower ones, but just let me have this, guys. Besides, I'm expanding on this. I'm not just stealing it like some other people. Here's the guy's request. Here's the guy's comment. But yeah, I'm gonna expand on it because it stated that Otto tells Ralph, let him go, man, he knows what he's doing. And obviously you don't have to be a complete Simpson nut to know that Otto is a, well, druggie, to put it bluntly. So knowing that he's dabbled in his fair share of, well, pretty much every drug, we can also attribute the effects of what Homer's seeing to LSD or ketamine, or really just any sort of drug that affects you psychologically and causes you to see hallucinations. All throughout then, we see a bunch of disturbing imagery and Homer trying to find his way back home. Of course he does in the end, but not before a fair share of weird, creepy, trippy, and downright disturbing imagery. The whole episode was weird. Like, I used to watch The Simpsons with my family growing up. Even though this episode didn't come on a lot, I remember, when it did, it was weird. Like, really weird. Even without all the drug references. Fuck was that? Someone in the ceiling? But yeah, it stated that Otto only told Ralph not to help out Homer or say anything else because he wanted Homer to ride out his, how would I say it, acid trip essentially, or at least something very similar to it. Also, don't do drugs, kids. I'm not condoning drugs. Don't do it. It's the reason why your uncle sleeps on your couch.
Seriously, don't, though.
But yeah, back to what I was saying, right? Throughout the episode, we see a bunch of strange visuals, but though that does answer the question on why Otto told Ralph to let him go, and even said that in the first place, which does make a lot more sense and make it funny even looking back at it. It still doesn't answer the question why Ralph was acting so out of character. So then I did some research and I couldn't find an answer. I honestly don't think there is. I really do think it could just be one of those moments where like a writer or an intern that wasn't that, you know, well knowledge in the Simpson universe kind of like just stepped in or something. I don't know. Such a vague specific thing. Or they could have really gotten any character. Or maybe that was part of the joke. Maybe the chili was already hitting Homer when Ralph was talking to him because it caused Ralph to speak some sense for once. Anyways, I just thought it was funny. Don't be like if you didn't know this or agree or think it could be a possibility. Because again, I ain't acting like everyone else on this fucking shit website and just pulling random shit out of my ass and labeling it a theory. I'm sorry, y'all, but you have the goddamn hypothesis. You can't just pull shit out of your ass and label it a theory. You know, your 8-year-old fans can only be so impressionable for so long. Anyways, I'm done talking. See you guys next time. Peace.